The good thing about the internet is it's like a cheesecloth. There's always going to be a hole where somebody could get through and be like, I'm going to prove you wrong. It's not always precedent, like the Guild and Dr. Horrible didn't escort tons of independent stories forth. I mean, there were great examples like Broad City and Issa Rae and Awkward Black Girl, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. All of them have sort of internet roots because they were out of the box and they worked their way around talent-wise. But, it wasn't like the franchise. The Guild ran for 20 seasons on NBC, or Dr. Horrible got to do a lot more iterations. It could have. But the good thing is that the precedent is there and the rules can always be broken. And that's the cool thing, because subverting the system is always fun for me.
Once we were spacemen.
I tend to play weird people, usually aliens and robots and things that don't have romance.
I once didn't get a job where they were looking for a Nathan Fillion type. Once we were spacemen.
Once we were spacemen.
Are we commencing? Shall we commence? Are we recording?
I thought we were commenced.
We're commenced. Okay. Felicia, get ready for this. You ready? Alan, do the thing.
Welcome to Once We Were Spacemen, because at one time we were spacemen, and in that moment, that once, it was a time that we were in space, and at the same time, Felicia Day was also spacey, and so she also now is part of the space world like spaceman.
Thank you.
Yeah, I almost thought it was going to end, and then it kept going, and I was happy.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Right?
That was a lot to wake up to. And also, I think it peaked, but in my heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, Felicia. How are you today?
I am so delighted to see y'all's faces. You're my favorite people, and I say that to every podcast I do.
Wow, thank you. It feels personal. Thank you.
Felicia, I've known you a long time. So long, in fact, I can't remember when we met.
I know.
Oh.
Please tell me. I have a guess, and I'll tell you if I was right.
So in 2004, I was on Buffy, the last season of Buffy, and I took an absolutely hideous pilot for the WB that was an improvised reality thing. You know how that jury show is now, where everybody but the actors know they're... Okay, so that's what we did with the WB, and I had to choose between like 2 episodes of Buffy and doing this pilot. And I didn't want to do the pilot, but of course my people were like, you gotta do the pilot. So I remember being FOMOing in Coalinga, California the whole time while you were shooting Caleb from Buffy, right? That character was Caleb. Anyway, so we did not get to act together, but then we met at Joss Whedon's house doing Shakespeare, I believe, later that summer after the wrap of the show. And that was me just going, I could have worked with him instead of doing this pilot that nobody ever saw and it was pretty bad. So that's the deal. That's it, I think.
Is that what you guessed, Nathan?
No, I was wrong, because I thought you were one of the many, what did they call you girls?
Potentials. I was.
The potentials. I thought you were one of the potentials running around, because there was like 16 of y'all.
Yeah, they killed him off every episode. I'm one of the only ones that survived. But I was not on the episodes that you were on. And again, I've always regretted that. Why did I take that pilot? I didn't want it. And it was terrible. They locked us in a hotel room and we had to pretend that we were really moving there. And I would cry off camera because the people were so nice. They're like, honey, you'll like it here as soon as you move here. Because I was playing a really rebellious teenager. You'll like it. You can join the cheer squad. And they really thought I was going to move there. And so I would just cry. And we had to stay locked in our hotel room so nobody would know that we were actors. So it was me and Taran Killam who would just play The Sims on PlayStation the whole time, like 8 hours a day while we were locked up there in the Harris Ranch, right off the 5.
Taran Killam from SNL?
Yes, Taran. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Married to Kobe Smulders.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I got even higher for her.
Yes, we've met him.
Wow, you got crazy for her. She is very, very cool.
Yeah, people say that. Never met her.
That sounds like it was a little bit like torture out there.
No, it was not good. It was not good at all. Again, it just made me feel bad. But you know me, I'm a stupid sap. I'm a little paladin. I don't like fooling people. in real life.
But it did work out that we did eventually meet and we did eventually work together.
That's right.
Do you remember meeting me?
No.
What the fuck? You don't remember at all? Sweet.
I honestly don't. I'm so
criminy.
sorry, Alan. I'm so sorry. I
Alan,
really
do you know the first time you met Felicia?
You know what's great is the first time her and I met, I thought she might be flirting with me. So
Really?
not only was she like not recording memories when she met me, I was way off about her kindness being, but I think I had that problem back then. It was when we were doing Firefly, maybe Firefly was over, and we did Shakespeare at Joss Whedon's. We did Cleopatra with Morena Baccarin reading
I remember
Cleopatra.
that. I remember that.
And we sat right next to each other.
Yep.
And you just couldn't stop flirting with me.
My hand was in your crotch. That was a choice. That was an acting choice with my hand in your crotch. You really need to learn the signals, man. How did you get married? And you got such a classy lady. How did that happen?
I know. I was finally like, I think this one's hitting on me. This person is hitting on me.
He finally asked, "Are you hitting on me?
Are you hitting on me?" And she's like, I don't know. I guess I could. You're not going to
I'll
make
get
the
my
move.
hand out of your crotch. I guess this is not giving the right signal.
Yeah. But we met there. And then I think I saw you in a robot. You were playing a robot in a thing. It was like you had all this metal, but it was Franklin Delano Roosevelt was there. It was like a... You may have had polio.
I don't remember this. Oh, yeah. Were you on that? Were you in that movie?
No, I just watched you on it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I take it back. You weren't a robot. You just had a lot of metal.
That was the one classy thing I've ever done in my career, and I never duplicated it for many reasons. They didn't want me,
Really?
Mostly. But
It was very
B,
good. It was very sweet. You like danced and you were like the sweetheart, like which you put your heart out while watching it, you know.
Yeah. I had polio, which was not cool. But at the time, I made it peppy because I was in a wheelchair. And you're right. It was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That was the movie. Well, Warm Springs was the movie.
If you didn't do the 2 episodes of Buffy and you did the pilot instead, how did you eventually still end up over at Buffy?
I think Joss was like, oh, we won't kill her off when she's off screen. So I expected to come back. It was like a 2-week period that I was gone in the spring. And
so
then
you'd already
they brought me
started
back.
on Buffy and then
Yes.
I see.
I was on like 3 or 4 episodes. I took 2 episodes off and then I came back for like 2 or 3 more.
What season did you enter Buffy?
7, the last one. And I started like September or October of 2023 or 2003. Oh God, so old.
Walk me through the day. Season 7 of Buffy was a very popular show. It was very well liked. It was very successful. It was a lot going on. And what was going on for Felicia Day professionally at the time? And that phone call you get, you're going to be on Buffy. What's that?
I mean, nobody wanted me, and mostly people don't want me. So it was nice to get hired. I went in to audition for Buffy, and I had like maybe 2 roles. I did a lot of commercials. I have a very appealing look of, I don't need to own my own body. Do what you want with me. So I did a lot of very good, I made a living doing like Old Navy. It's half my nose, At the time, you could make a lot of money with a half a nose on an Old Navy commercial.
Yeah.
But I could not crack the audition for theatrical, mostly because I had an anxiety disorder that was undiagnosed until just a couple years ago. Really good timing
Really?
when I'm over my peak. Anyway, so I did go in. I had done like Bring It On Again. That's it. And maybe 1 guest star. But I went in and I had no idea what Buffy was. I'd heard about it. And I was like, oh, that's always a show that I would like to have watched, but I just never made time for it. I go in for a guest star and I read for the guest star who turned out to be a girl who was a demon who died at the end of the episode. And I remember Marnie Noxon and David Fury, I think, were there. And they had me cold read a monologue for another character. And because I'm really good when I'm unprepared, I did a really good job. And by the time I was out at my car again, they were like, oh, you got hired. Evidently, they were so desperate for an actor to start working in 2 days for this unnamed character who was supposed to be an Asian woman who didn't speak any English. They ended up bringing that potential in like 2 episodes later.
That's usually my role, but good for you. Wow.
So that's it. By accident, I was, that's the story.
Well, way to go. If you've got an anxiety disorder and they hand you a huge monologue and you go, bam.
That was easier than preparing,
I
Now
see.
I know about drugs. so I can operate a little bit better.
You're at the car, you get the call, hey, bad news, you didn't get the role you were reading for. Good news is you got the role for the mute Asian girl.
It's true, but I did get a couple of lines. They did write me some lines. I think I don't know why they liked me. It was probably like, wow, she looks like she's going to explode with anxiety. That's a new take, you know?
Let me tell you why they liked you. You're super talented. You're super cute. You're effervescent. You bubble all the time. You're continually sparkling. I'm shocked to just find out just now that you have suffered from anxiety.
What? I mean, look at my resume. Clearly I self-sabotage, Nathan. There's no way I can't get arrested.
I look at your resume. I see a self-made millionaire.
I made it all happen. I made it all happen myself because I self-sabotaged in front of other people, so I literally had to do it myself, which I guess is fine.
Whatever reason that made you do it, you did it.
Yeah. Hollywood is littered with self-sabotagers who didn't do it themselves.
Yeah, who still don't pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
Yeah. Truly, it is littered. They need to clean that up.
So
I don't know.
litter.
Gavin Newsom is out there always back, this, that, the other thing. Pick up the people who self-sabotage. I mean, at least in my neighborhood. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
I'm going to start a
Nathan.
GoFundMe for that, Alan.
Good.
But we eventually were together on Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Woo!
And I remember Joss Whedon coming to you and saying, so what do we do next? Because you were already an expert in web series.
I was a little ahead of my time, maybe too ahead. You know, Dr. Horrible was inspired, and I'm not going to take all the credit, but when I was on the strike line for the WGA back in the day, I had emailed Joss, the Guild, and he had watched it, and that's part of what inspired him to just make something on his own. That's what he told me. I'm not talking out of turn. And the phenomenon that Dr. Horrible became, thanks to you and Neil and everybody in the production, really allowed me to do more of what I do. So it was kind of symbiosis, you know? I'm hoping that something like that comes back, that sort of indie spirit, people making their own stuff, because Hollywood is even in a worse shape right now. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but it's just difficult for people to get stories made. And I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool to make something out of the box. I mean, you both have done it over and over again, and I think that's what's inspiring.
Well, I think
I ride the coattails of people who do it.
I would not say that, but
I've made a career out of coattails. I had a conversation with an agent from my agency at the time when we were doing Dr. Horrible, and I was saying, I'm fascinated. The idea of entertainment on demand on the internet. And we were at an event, and this agent had had a couple of drinks, and she kept saying, yeah, but it's the internet. It's never going to work. It's the internet. And every time I tried to get a point across, she'd interrupt with, yeah, but it's the internet. I said, well, what am I about to say that's so terrifying to you that you can't even allow me to say it? And that brought an abrupt end to the conversation. But that's where the conversation was at the time about entertainment on demand on the internet.
What year was that?
2008.
2008?
Or 9,
Wow.
yeah. I mean,
2008 or
here's the
9?
thing. What I've learned is that the institutions don't want things that they don't understand and control. And eventually, they took it over. So they spotted it, but they were afraid of people being able to work outside their system. Then they co-opted the system and somewhat ruined it. But the good thing about the internet is it's like a cheesecloth. You know, there's always going to be a hole where somebody could get through and be like, I'm going to prove you wrong. It's not always precedent, like the Guild and Dr. Horrible didn't escort tons of independent stories forth. I mean, there were great examples like Broad City and Issa Rae and Awkward Black Girl, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. All of them have sort of internet roots because they were out of the box and they worked their way around talent-wise. But, you know, it wasn't like the franchise the Guild ran for 20 seasons on NBC, or Dr. Horrible got to do a lot more iterations. It could have. But the good thing is that the precedent is there and the rules can always be broken. And that's the cool thing, because subverting the system is always fun for me.
Would you say then you built a career on subverting the system and breaking the rules?
For sure. I mean, the things that I'm working on now are all like, well, they won't do it, so screw it. I'm going to make it, you know?
How dare you?
I know. Listen, desperation. I got to pay for my child.
The last thing that I worked with you on was exactly that. It was the thing on Audible.
Yeah, Third Eye. You were so funny. Oh my gosh, if you guys haven't listened to Alan on this, he plays a sleazy vampire and he's so funny and you improv so much. No other actor improv like you. I think Sean Astin improved a little bit, but I was like, this is why he does all the animation, because you add so much. It's just amazing.
So that was something you wrote on your own, which wrote it on spec. That's Hollywood lingo right there. And is it a Hollywood secret? That's not a secret. That's just lingo. Hollywood lingo. Okay, you wrote it on spec. It's a story. Could you describe it just a little bit?
Well, it's about a failed Harry Potter who grew up and was a loser. After The Guild, my web series, ended in like 2014 or whatever, I wrote this on spec because I wanted it to be it was my dream to be a TV show. And I got a big production company on board and nobody wanted it. Like, it was like I dropped a poop on a table when I pitched it to comedy places. So my heart was broken and I spent like...
I'm sorry. I tried to just let it go. A poop on the table?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you're pitching Comedy Central, these cool girls in it, men, and they're like all with their cool people. And I'm like pitching, Harry Potter and vampires. I feel like comedy people don't like nerd people. When you find the person who loves it, but there's a snobbery from cool comedy people to nerd stuff. I don't know.
I don't want to sidetrack us, but that one blows me away. It is such a weird snobby because comics are fucking nerds.
I know. I don't get it.
You've experienced it too.
Oh, God. Only Patton Oswalt is like this one shining example of a nerd who's so good at comedy and like brings the respect. And then, they look down their nose at nerds.
I don't get it. And then what we do in the shadows, you have to be like, have an accent to get away with it. Taika Waititi, he gets away with it because he's got an accent, right? But I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just also timing. It was a little early to be nerdy.
Well, you shouldn't have pooped on the table. I think we can say that across the board.
I will do anything to get a job, okay?
They're the ones who gave me coffee.
Yeah, look, exactly. They listen.
They got to move.
They validated my parking. I'm going to do it.
And I will leave you with this.
I want to know, who was Felicia Day growing up? Like, were your parents looking at you going, we're really worried about Felicia. She's an oddball. What was Felicia in high school? Who was the little girl who became this lady now?
I was homeschooled. I didn't know if you knew that, Nathan. I was homeschooled.
Is that what went wrong?
Yeah, that's what went wrong in many ways.
Was it like a Christian one?
No, my mom just didn't want to get out of bed early. So she would just throw some books on the table and be like, learn some stuff. I just happened to be so...
Smart?
No, it's just bored. And
Curious?
We didn't have the internet back then, or I would,
Right.
I'd probably be happier nowhere, career-wise. But I just loved showing off. And that's also been a problem I've had to undo because a lot of my motivation over the years has been extrinsic versus intrinsic. Can you tell I've gone to therapy? But I was always the oddball. I didn't have any contact with my peers. So I always thought, if I'm not as good as an adult who's really prominent, then I'm not doing well. So I would just push myself to do stuff. I was a violinist, so I got a very early scholarship to college. And I always just wanted to be an actor. So I got the real degrees and I just moved to Hollywood thinking I was going to be famous, like an idiot.
Where did you start?
It.
What city is this you're being homeschooled and raised in?
I was homeschooled in Mississippi, Alabama.
No, wow. You don't sound like from that place.
I know. I can put it on.
When you get on the phone with your relatives, does it come out?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, hey, y'all. Yes, it's really bad. It's really bad, especially if you go to Georgia.
When you say, I didn't, and I moved off to Hollywood, it sounds so easy, but who did you know? What support system did you have in Hollywood? When you tell your mom, hey, I'm leaving, what's the reaction from friends and family? This is not an easy move.
Well, the good thing was I was smart and I volunteered for film festivals the whole time while I was in college in Austin. And Austin has an amazing, and used to even have a more amazing film scene, indie film scene. That's kind of where I was inspired. Like, Rick Linklater and Robert Rodriguez, they were known to be like working outside the system. Yeah. So I think that spirit of that indie film thing is why I did what I did, because I'm like, well, they did it. You can work outside the system to make stuff. I always volunteered, and I met a lot of people there, and I saved up all my money playing weddings at large Baptist weddings in Austin, Texas.
Playing what?
The violin, yeah. Yeah. So I was able to move out with enough money to be okay, and then enough confidence to be like, that's going to be easy and work really fast.
Logistically, did you call ahead and say, I have an apartment I'm going to rent? Or like, where did you stay?
I was able to move in with someone. So
Who's this someone? Who's this someone who said, you can come crash on my couch?
I'm not going to go into that. I was a lover. It happened to be a lover, but I'm not going to go into it.
Can I ask this question real quick, just to back up, real quick? You went to UT Austin.
Yeah. Did you?
No, I went to Juilliard.
Juilliard. Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted you to be able to drop that you went to Juilliard.
Name drop.
Yes, but I just found out from our crack team who cracked it. Crack sound, please. Thank you. Who cracked the secrets of Felicia Day. You got accepted to Juilliard.
I got accepted to the pre-program. So Dorothy DeLay, who was one of the most famous violin teachers in existence, I went and auditioned for her, and she accepted me as a pre-program
violinist?
Student. Yes. But
You
then we
would have
didn't
been
have the
one of those
money.
violin kids with a bruise on your neck walking around school all the time.
Until it was like 10 years ago that it started going away. It was there for decade after I stopped playing.
I mean, that's
it's
so
a real
much,
nasty hickey.
It's like, I got blisters on my fingers. Everybody knows that from John Lennon. But even worse, violinists have a constant 24-hour hickey months, years going. That's how much they love their art.
Well,
Their art gives them hickeys. But you said no to that. I'm going to go to UT. I'm going to go to Austin. So you were already, look at this. I don't need this crap. I'm going to do it my way.
No, I was a child who had no agency. I'm like, oh, I can't go there. We don't have money. And then randomly my teacher from UT Austin was like, you want to go to college next year? I'll get you a scholarship. Yeah. I mean, I would love to say I was
and that is a good school.
It's a really good school.
Yeah.
And the music department was, great. It was great for me because it was like, it's a 50,000 student school, which is like, I was in my house with my brother, but the music building was like 300 people. So it was kind of like I had sort of a high school experience in the music school, and then I would venture out to do other classes from there. So I didn't get into crazy. I never even went to like a party.
What?
Oh, yeah, you didn't realize I was so pathetic. I can't believe you.
It's Austin. That thing parties all the time.
I was 16, and my mom drove me to college every day.
Oh, that's good that you didn't party then.
Were you a shy kid? Were you wallflower? Were you awkward?
Yes, all of the above, Nathan.
When did that wrap up? I'm looking at a confident, incredible human being. When was the explosion that happened that said, it's enough of this?
It's the internet and being used as a piñata in Hollywood. Like I had to rough it up, man. I had to
when they break the
calluses.
piñata, what comes out? Is it that poop again, or is it?
Oh yeah, lots of poop.
Candy?
So much poop. Just like it's like a soft serve machine.
Jesus. So it's fresh.
So fresh.
Exciting.
And unless I've eaten a lot of cheese, and then it would just drop.
Which you mentioned the cheesecloth
hard
earlier.
candy.
I'm allergic, so I'm hoping that the future of Hollywood doesn't involve a cheese clock.
Do you have lactose intolerance?
Yes,
I just developed that, and I'm so upset.
Oh.
I'm fascinated that you were awkward ever, because that's something you've never been. That is not in my experience with Felicia Day. You're always on top of it. You're in control.
You're right.
You're conducting it. You're like, hey, you, by the way, I want to know you. We're going to be friends. Shake, shake,
Yeah.
shake.
When we were in Comic-Con, one of the first Comic-Cons I went to, I remember we went out to dinner. It was like the group of usuals with Joss and everybody. And you said, I don't have your number. Give me your number. Or, I don't have any of your information now, and you have to give me your information.
Were you thinking that I was flirting with you again?
No. At that point,
good,
I was.
Good.
It was very like, you had no problem saying, give me your information. And I said, well, and at that time, it was during that oil rig crisis in the Gulf of Mexico. That was just the BP thing that was just spilling oil for months on end. And I made up cards that said I was in BP, BP Deepwater Exploration. And anyway, I made cards. And so I gave you a card and you looked at it and you're like, disgusted look on your face. You're like, this doesn't have your email. It doesn't have your Twitter. It doesn't have anything on here. I cannot use this. And you handed
This
it
is
back.
a punchline, Alan.
Wow.
I'm not here for your jokes.
All I had was my phone number. And you're like, what's a phone number for? Get it out of my hands.
I got the same look and disdain from Felicia when she found out I wasn't on Twitter. And she hounded and harassed me
It's true.
until I finally got on Twitter, and she said, there, now you're on Twitter. And I called her up and I said, hey, I can't get to my email because I get a notification every time someone follows me. And she said, hey, everybody, Nathan's on Twitter, and she had millions of followers, and I'm getting followers, and I can't stop the emails from coming
Oh
through.
my God, I can't believe you had that set on. You must have had like 100,000.
Yeah, and then she looked at me and she went, Nathan, you can't have this set for notifications. What do you say? I said, I don't know what the buttons mean. I was a neophyte, and this is Felicia slapping me around going, I am tired of walking you through this.
You don't come off as an anxiety, nerdy type person that way. In real life, you're very much like, sit down, old man, let me help you.
I'm just
taking
say,
control.
Yeah.
I will say that you guys, and this is a compliment, I want to be really genuine about this and the social group that we've had for so long that started with Buffy, started with Jaws, started with all the people who are part of that group. I will say that outside of the bubble of safety that are the people who are not only incredibly talented and creators, but they're genuine people, I'm just dysfunctional because everything in Hollywood is provisional mostly. If you're not hot, nobody's going to call you. If you really have something, everybody's got your number. And you know that you're on sort of like, trial basis with everybody. And that's why I feel that, because I'm like, there's not really genuine connection. If I'm not useful to you, I won't talk to you. I never felt that with you guys or any of the group that we are with. I always felt safe and accepted for myself. And that's so rare in life, but especially in the business we're in, because we're transient. We know each other, but might be a couple years before we talk, but it's always like a real human connection. And we get to play together, we get to work together, we get to socialize together whenever we can, but it's always on a real human basis. And I say that as a thank you as a friend for providing. And I'm going to cry because it's the safe space that everybody deserves, but doesn't really get in this industry. So
Listen,
I like knowing you guys. Aww.
I don't deny that connection. I will simply say, you made it happen. You forced us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I won't leave you alone.
It's all that flirting.
Listen, I was homeschooled. I didn't know crotch grabbing was like that, okay? I've learned.
I thought that's how you shook somebody's hand. Hi, hello.
Thought that was a hand.
Hi, hello. All right.
That was a hand.
I never. HR, we got to get. Anyway, we've got to get an HR.
Is this usually more professional? I'm so sorry.
This is something I'd like to ask of people. Was there a moment in your career where you felt to yourself, I've made it. Here it is. I've made it.
I mean, yeah, I think. Okay, I have two of them.
Go.
One of them is when the music video for The Guild came out and like just millions of people watched it.
Oh, yeah.
That was a brilliant video.
And it was the same summer that Dr. Horrible came out.
I cannot believe my eyes, how the world's finally growing wise.
Everything was like aligned, and I was like, oh my God, this irrational self-confidence I had in my work, doing it the hard way, is finally working. That's one. And then the other one is like a couple years into COVID, when everything got cut off, and I had left my company. I had a company that was called Geek and Sundry. It was wonderful, but then it was not wonderful, and then it was really tough, and I was working on things that I wasn't really creatively invested in as much, and I was building other people's careers versus mine, so I left. I had a baby. Total life crisis. I'll write about it one day. And then, because I was so desperate to try to get in again or try to grab that success that I had had like 8 years earlier, but COVID cut me off from it because we all shut down. And I was kind of forced to figure out, well, how do you live with yourself and be happy with yourself outside these goals? And so I started writing and I started working on things that I didn't have an ulterior motive to please other people with. And that was sort of the realization that, oh, this is what art's about. This is what being a creator's about. Yes, you have to have the business, but if you let the scales tip too far into the business and you're kind of working for the business, then that's kind of the antithesis of being a creator, right? So you got to balance it out. And you have to keep nurturing your inner creativity that only you can do, even if it's not useful, or you lose your own voice. And so, I went and wrote like a graphic novel, and that's coming out actually pretty soon this year. And then I wrote, The Third Eye, which was a rejected TV pilot, which I was able to make into a whole TV-length thing. And
then
I wrote a couple other things. Yeah, so
it was on the charts. It charted on Audible. It was
it was top
really
3
did well.
Yeah, exactly. So I think those are the two things where I'm like, made it, as far as like my mentality.
What about your being best on the bestseller? You had a bestseller.
Felicia's New York Times bestseller was her 2015 memoir, You're Never Weird, on the internet, almost.
I mean, if you're not well balanced.
There's
discontent. Those were great. It's great.
Also
making stuff's great. Like, you guys do it all the time. You're just creative, and I think that's really the heart of it. Like, you have to know that you have a voice and you want to make stuff and you got to deal with the business. And sometimes the business works for you and sometimes it doesn't. But it doesn't mean that you as a creator are not worthy. And that's the hard part to learn. And you could tell it to somebody, but you can't do it until you learn it.
I'll say there's a difference. I do participate in projects that are fantastic, and I'm very fortunate. You build things from the ground up and not just one or two. There's a dozen things you've created from the ground up.
Yeah, because I just am like, hey, I did a movie last year, and I just released it on podcast form because I was like, I always wanted to be in this movie, and so many times somebody was going to fund it, and like it never happened, and I'm like, I don't think it'll ever happen, and I just made it into a scripted podcast, and I released it on Bandcamp, and I made my money back, and I did a movie. Who knows? It's not going to make like a huge impact on my life, but the people who listened to it enjoyed it.
What's the name of it?
It's called Bailey, and you can get it on Bandcamp.
Cool.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yes, on a certain scale, I keep making stuff, but you make stuff that you can employ other people at, which is that's nice too.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts?
What?
Do you believe in ghosts? Have you or has anyone?
We got a topic turn. Hairpin. Topic turn.
We talk about career stuff all the time with guests. But when Alan and I are just alone, we talk about anything. And I just wanted to open it up to anything. And this is something that interests me. Have you ever seen a ghost? Have anyone you love and trust and know and believe, have they ever seen a ghost? Do you believe in ghosts?
Okay, believe, that's the thing that just lost me. Because my daughter, who's 9, believes in ghosts. And she thinks there's a hallway ghost. And she's convinced that there's a ghost in the hallway. It's like a lady. And I'm like, okay, I'll turn the hall light on because you think there's a lady living here. It's creepy. But when she was 2 and 3, she thought that a dolphin in a top hat named Oko Loco would come and wake her up in the middle of the night. So she might just be irrational, I think.
Or awesome. That is great.
Yeah.
Oko Loco? Bam.
Oko Loco. I even went to a con and had them do fan art of Oko Loco, and it's more disturbing to see a dolphin with arms and legs and a tuxedo with a top hat.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
That's the island of Dr. Moreau and shit. That's not.
Yeah, exactly. Would you come back as a ghost if you could? That's my question to you guys.
To me, ghosts always kind of seem like scary and terrifying and frightening. If there were some helpful ghosts, sure, I think maybe I'd kind of help out. Maybe punch up some lines in a writer's room, the haunted writer's room.
You'd be like massaging their head, like, this is the joke. The
This is great. This is great.
Yeah.
Does it have to be a cop? Could he be a butcher? Because then,
Hollywood producer ghost. That'd be kind of amazing.
I would say no, don't come back for me. Just that's my vote. I would not want to come back as a ghost. I'm done. Done.
Okay, can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
What's the best pastry you've ever had? Like, what's the one where you were just like, holy mackerel, this is
guys,
what I want in my mouth
pastry
forever.
I guess it qualifies as a pastry. It was invented in a little town in British Columbia, north of Vancouver, called Nanaimo, and it's called the Nanaimo bar.
Oh, those are so good.
You know the ones. So it's a layer of like cocoa and granola and walnuts on the bottom, a layer of what I thought was icing. It's really just butter with sugar in it.
Sweet Jesus.
What?
Yeah, that's what that middle layer is. And then a layer of chocolate on top. And it's something you have with coffee. You have to have it with something bitter because it is so sweet that it'll send you to a diabetic coma.
Yeah, you have to be near a hospital when you eat one.
Is there a place, did you go to Nanaimo and have like the Nanaimo bar? Or is it just like in general, that's the thing you want?
It's all around Canada. It's all over Canada. You don't have to visit Nanaimo specifically, but that's the legendary birthplace of the Nanaimo bar.
It's where we shot Resident Alien. We did a lot of over there.
Yeah, I was just there. I did a little pilot thing. Maybe it'll go, maybe not. Who knows?
All
But
right.
you know
You
what?
mentioned it, Alan. You lit up a little bit. You've had the Nanaimo bar.
Yes, well, it's one of the few gluten-free items you can get because I'm also the gluten intolerant, but it is way too sweet for me.
I love how Nathan introduces me to the fine culinary arts of Canada over and over. I remember I was with you and your brother Jeff in Toronto, I think, and you ordered this thing. I was like, what the hell are you putting in your mouth? And you were like, it's a Caesar. And I was like, what is it? What's in it? clam juice, and I almost puked on you. I was so repulsed, but then I tried it, and it was
So good.
delicious. Can you describe your love of a Caesar, please? Because you looked like you were in love with that glass.
The Caesar is the alcoholic beverage that drinks like a meal. And it used to be
Not selling it. That is not a good.
It used to be the what do you put in a drink? The little,
like a celery. Oh, the stir stick.
yeah. Well, what do you call that? A little.
Your hopes and dreams. Your nightmares. Pepper.
What gives the drink its panache? Oh, and then you put a little on the edge of the glass.
Spritz.
Just a clam?
Oh, yeah. The rim.
We're gonna have to
clam the rim. That's
we're gonna have to know. We're gonna have to look this up.
Clam rim.
It's like the decoration that
Jesus.
comes with it. It's like it's the
Garnish.
umbrella.
Garnish.
The garnish. Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
It's almost like it came to me in a text.
You're welcome.
The garnish used to be a stick of celery, and then it became olives, and then it became pickled, like spicy pickled string beans. And then it became beef jerky, and now it's like a frickin' cheeseburger that sits on the edge of your glass. Yes, they've gone too far.
You're a traditionalist. You're a Caesar traditionalist.
I confess, I'll eat that cheeseburger. It's just going to make it the glass a little lopsided. Don't let go. But it's celery salt and seasonings around the rim. It is. It's like a Bloody Mary.
Clamato.
Now, I have introduced this to Americans who taste this and say, this is a confectionery, wonderful delight. It's dancing in my mouth. It's savory. It's incredible. What is in this? And I'll say, there's a little bit of clam broth in there. And they go, I'm never going to have this again. I'm like, they just finished telling me how much they loved it. But it's 1% clam broth in the tomato juice.
That's fine. They put anchovies in a lot of things,
Yeah.
you know? Just
Salads.
it's like an
Caesar
umami.
salads.
Yeah, it's an umami
That's
flavor.
Ooh. It's an umami flavor. Oh, wow.
Umami.
I would say that the best pastry I ever had in my life was a croissant the first time I went to Paris with butter. And that's it.
That's me too. I went on a
Simple.
food tour. I went to a place that just had won the best croissant in the world.
Oh, my God.
I bit into this thing. I had 7 of them. It was like Krispy Kreme. I'm like just throwing them down the hatch. They were hot. And ever since then, especially, no insult to Starbucks, like they do what they need to do. But when I look at that bloated, doughy croissant in the case, like they're quote unquote croissant.
It's a crescent. That's a full-on crescent.
It's a
roll.
crescent roll. It has nothing to do with a croissant. I'm like, you bastard. How dare you? Rename yourself.
Now, Felicia, you mentioned running into my brother and I in Toronto. There was another city where I ran into you coincidentally, and it was such a coincidence that you were not convinced it didn't happen on purpose.
I don't understand how this happened. This is a really good story, you guys, and it just goes to show that Nathan and I are supposed to be, he could never dump me as a friend because it's just,
You're
you know, the fate
connected.
was like, no, you're connected. Sorry, she's always going to be around a little bit. I was with my family and I was doing a convention, MCM Comic-Con, I believe, and we were walking in a neighborhood. I think it was, what's it called? Shoreditch.
Oh, Shoreditch.
Shoreditch, yes.
Oh.
It was the hipster area.
Oh,
and
in London. Oh.
my baby
great.
was like a year and a half, and we're walking along this kind of hipster alley, and I remember distinctly walking forward and then looking up, and as if it was a champion coming out from the mists in a fantasy film. You're just striding toward me with your, Nathan Panther walk, and you're just like, I'm like, what in the, am I hallucinating? I haven't been sleeping because my daughter's trying to kill me, but this is weird. Why is my friend here? On no associative basis, you and your family were there on an art tour.
Yeah.
Just coming out of nowhere in London when neither of us knew each other were in London, and we're on the same exact street at the same exact time. What?
Wow.
Just come on.
Yeah, I looked over and I saw I saw Felicia's red hair, and I said, "That looks like that's Felicia." Oh my God! I just kind of started smiling to myself, going, "This is crazy." Walked over to her. The look on her face.
You didn't walk. You panther walked,
He
buddy.
panther walked like a warrior out of a medieval, from the mists. I just was like, that's that's the impression I get. And then he's panther walking out of the mists like an
And then-
Excalibur.
And then the conversation was me trying to convince Felicia it didn't happen on purpose. She's like, how did you know we were going to be here? We were almost going to turn left back there. And I said, no, let's just go right. How did you know we were going to turn right? Because I just made that choice just now. I was like, I didn't know. I just walked out to you. No. Honestly, how did you? Like, it was.
I almost got the restraining order out right then. I'm like, listen. I couldn't believe I've never had my mind blown like that. Like, I've never believed in a ghost, but maybe at that point it was the ghost of. I was like, is he alive somewhere? This is his last thing he wants to say to me. He's departed the earth, and yet his ghost is now saying goodbye to his friends.
Oh, and here's another little tie-in. The art tour we were on was a street art tour of graffiti and street art with the incomparable Louis Jensen, whose name you've heard in the credits of this very podcast. He did the artwork for our logo.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Same guy, Louis Jensen.
He's like amazing. Also, the art there is incredible. Way
The
too
art
cool
there
for me.
is incredible. The tour was fantastic, honestly.
Best.
And he was there at the time when it was all happening. Like, he's one of the original guys, and he had to leave town to go live in a cave in Spain for a little bit because he was in trouble with the authorities, and he had to wait for the heat to die down. And we would pass by other art tours. He'd be like listening in, kind of leaning in with his ear and say, that's not right at all. The guy he's talking about wasn't here until the 1980s, and he didn't do that painting. It was another friend of his. I was here. I watched him do it. Like, he had all the inside bits. And he goes, oh, by the way, right we're standing right now is where Jack the Ripper's number 7 victim was found. Okay, let's go over here. Because it was the same neighborhood where Jack the Ripper was doing his thing. Yeah. It was quite a tour. And then we walked into this beautiful open square where there's these great art pieces around and all this stuff's happening. I look over, there's Felicia.
Panther walking out of the mist.
So I'm proud
I was like a chinchilla. I was jumping like a chinchilla. It was one of the best moments of my life. If I would be like top 10 memories, it's you just crashing my party, my existence in London.
Give me a memory of Dr. Horrible. Something about Dr. Horrible that stands out.
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if you knew this, but I was so nervous working with you and Neil. I was so nervous. And I wanted to die inside every time we were. And I didn't even know how to move my body sometimes. The first day we were on the back lot, which I guess I think it burned down. It doesn't exist anymore. But we're in the back lot of the Universal Studios. And it was my first day working. And I will say, I don't know if you knew this, but the hair woman was really, really mean to me. She was so mean. Oh, she was awful to me.
What?
I sat down and I was already really nervous. And I was like, can I have my hair curly? It was as if I asked for like a nose job in this, like, I need you to change my nose right now. She acted like, well, I'm just doing this a favor. And you want me to curl your hair every day? I just don't know how that's going to work. And so she took what little confidence I had. And listen, I don't know who the ladies, I don't want to like ruin anybody's career, but it was one of the worst. She was obviously having a bad day. I'll give her that. So I had a bad day. And it was the one where I fall in the trash and you pick me up, right?
Yeah, I pushed you into the trash.
Exactly. And I was so nervous. I had to tell my body how to get up off the ground and move. Like, move toward him. Just remember to move toward him. It got better after that. The first day was just a rough day. But I remember you being so kind, so supportive, and like, I didn't even realize at the time how extraordinary. I mean, I realized you were extraordinary, but I didn't realize at the time how generous you were as an actor. And a lot of actors in your position and of your stature would not necessarily have that as a reflex. And you have it to this day, even being on The Rookie. And it's not just me, it's anybody on the set. And I just want to tell you that I'm just glad that you're a paladin who has not been corrupted and you continue to have your heart in the world in a lovely, positive way. And you've always been like that, and I know you always will.
I love how the role-playing game nomenclature makes it into your daily speech. It makes me very happy. The other thing is I can't believe anyone could be mean to you. And the other thing is, I'm so glad I asked because that's so many lovely compliments. Alan, were you listening to those?
I don't remember anything about ever interacting with Alan.
Wait, what?
No, I do. I remember Con Man. I have so many memories of Con Man. And
Yeah.
I will say this is really terrible, but and I'm not even kidding, when you proved to be really competent, I was always impressed. Like, what? He can do that?
So was I.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Don't worry.
He
That
does
is fair.
He does not exude that.
I'm like, wow, he knows what he's doing, but always with a question mark at the end, like, what? I don't know why.
God bless you.
And the third and last thing I'll make a comment about Dr. Horrible was I was so tense to be working with you and Neil because the two of you were such incredible singers.
Ugh.
I remember somebody asking you to tone it down a bit as far as the professionalness of your voice.
It's true. I went a little opera. No, I actually, for the Penny song, I was told to sing out less. And if anybody has not listened to the commentary track that goes along with Dr. Horrible, which nobody knows about, but you can get on iTunes and the DVD, it's another like 10 songs that they wrote that go with the song.
It's the musical commentary to the musical.
Exactly. And my song is all about me like singing out and being operatic and also promoting myself to the point of absolute obnoxiousness because I love the Guild so much. And so Joss and Jed and Marissa and Zach made fun of me in the song. And it was just, I mean, of course, it's all good-natured, but it was true because I was obnoxious. And that's how I am here today.
Okay, so then Con Man. Let's go to Con Man. Let's talk about Con Man a little bit. Because you rocked that.
Yes, you helped. You not only were great in it, you played a fantastic character.
You gave me that character.
Yes.
It's good casting, good writing.
I've had people dress like that. So the character, her name was Karen, which at the time, Karen wasn't what Karen is now.
Nope.
But it was a reaction to, there's a lot of hyper security around cons with a lot of like fans end up in positions of security and running cons, and they're so considerate to the guests,
sometimes
the actors,
too much, too. Yeah,
that they will be like, come with me, careful, out of his way, as if some people need that you're going to be attacked or you're going to be hounded, and it's never, people, in my experience, have been not that. They've been very friendly. And so you were one of those people, and you had dressed exactly like I was. When I meet you, you're already dressed exactly like I was, so you can be a decoy at any time to draw off any attackers. But you'd never met me. Some people had taken a picture of me at the airport, so you were able to put together an outfit that was exactly right.
I was basically a stalker, but a benevolent one.
Yes. And you did a great job, and it was very fun. We had Leslie Jordan in that. Wait, no, he wasn't in that episode. He was in the second season because you came back second season.
That's
with
true,
Leslie Jordan.
True. You did bring me back, which was nice.
Yes, and that was when you were attached to Lou Ferrigno for that episode.
And it was in that weird muscle suit, and I was pregnant, but I hadn't told anybody. It was like 5 weeks in, and I almost fainted, and I told PJ, the producer, I was like, hey, I don't want to tell anybody this, but I'm really hot, and I have to go lay down because I'm pregnant. And everyone was like freaking out, but it turned out, she's great. She's great. I could blame anything on you. So she
Con Man cooked your child.
Cooked my baby.
Son.
Yeah, exactly.
In a Lou Ferrigno muscle suit.
Oh, there were so many funny scenes there. And I just am so impressed that you directed, like, again, just like he could do this. He directed and wrote it all. And just so funny.
There was a lot of funny stuff. That was a fun episode. That was the musical episode. Where Lou Ferrigno played in the Of Mice and Men. I'm Was Stupid. But Leslie Jordan was in, Minnie's Turn. It was just a lot of fun.
Good.
But I love that we found out you were pregnant because you were doing the same thing you did with my character where you were going to draw people away in case they attack him. So you were in a huge muscle suit.
Yeah.
I'm Lou Ferrigno.
It was hot.
I wear
it was
cologne.
Like summer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was summer. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Crazy. But thank you so much. And you helped raise money. I got to come by your house. You gave me a orangutan doll just for fun. I kept that thing for a while. It looked like a baby, but it was an orangutan.
Oh, I remember that. Do you want to come to my house now? I have so much more trash I'd love to give you.
I'm moving, so we're trying to shed.
Oh, okay.
All the extra
All right. Well,
things.
if you ever need a baby orangutan again, I'll let you know. Not a real one. That's illegal.
And then more crossplay. I came and did an episode of The Guild.
I know.
Where one of your characters was like so super mean to me when I was trying to make like a business connection. He's like, no thanks, give me the hand. And as I walk away, some little girl walks up and says, can you sign this? And I smack it out of her hand because I'm just so...
You were so funny in that. And I'm writing I'm doing a reunion movie. We're going to kickstart it this summer. And I was like, I'll have Nathan... Oh, he already was in the thing. God damn it. He's already in the show.
That's why you have me come back, though. That's why. And to finish off what we had started with that angsty, I remember you.
Okay. It's a good pitch.
I'm
If you
around.
become you can be a ghost and come to my house and be like, you know what you need.
Massage your head.
Does it have to be a guild?
So funny. It's you know what? It was so fun. We just talked about like some of the most fun times I've ever had making things, and all of them were things where we had a lot of control and not a lot of oversight and not a lot of resources, but we were there just playing and making things together. And that's the spirit. Like that's what we're here for, right? I don't know. Those were all memories that I would never forget and productions that I'm like super proud I was part of. So, I mean, all my jobs I'm proud of, but when you're just scrapping it together, it's kind of like, I don't know, there's something special about it.
When young people come up to you and say, or you're in a position to give advice about the biz, is that what you tell them? Make your own thing?
So my daughter's like, I want to be a famous singer, mama. And I'm like, I think it was from like just K-pop Demon Hunters. And I'm like, okay, but you got to write your own music because you're not going to be a tool to the system. And she's like, okay, mama, tool to the system.
No, wait. Well, K-pop is a great example of that because the woman who wrote the songs was trying to be in the system. And then they were like, no, you don't have it.
Her story's incredible. And then she's like, listen, I got rejected and 10 years went by and I went back to, songwriting school. And then this happened. And, now she's like the biggest in the world. And she did a quote that was really interesting. Like rejection is just building character. And I was like, well, that's pretty good fuel, man.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks though.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good.
What is something the internet gets wrong about you every time?
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. That's interesting. That's a really good question. I've never heard that. That I have any calculation in what I do at all. I think I have an interesting career because I was one of the first internet influencers. And I think if I had gone really heavy into looking really cool and taking sexy photos and all that stuff, there was a point at which I think I could have made a lot of money and been a lot better, more people would know about me if I had gone that traditional route, trying to be glamorous and trying to present my looks online. And, I was one of the first people on Twitter, like you said, and Instagram and all that stuff. And I never felt comfortable putting those clothes on or being glamorous or putting on the shell that is not me, I don't want to put my effort into that. Look at my hair. I just don't have that desire, and I don't like setting the bar in a way I'm putting on a false front, but the reality is this. I always I'm really super honest. I'm just here's the reality of it. Maybe too honest, and maybe that may be less high profile, but it made me feel more authentic and true to who I am. And also, it saved me a lot of money because grooming is expensive.
If you search Felicia Day, Nathan Fillion in Google.
Are we going to tell the world that my daughter is yours?
That's one of the things that comes up. I'm reading right now. Felicia Day, long before she became the queen of geek culture, reportedly dated Nathan Fillion during the mid-90s.
What?
That's one of the things that comes up. I was in New York in the mid-90s.
I was underage in the mid-90s.
There we go. Thank you.
Whoa.
Did not happen, you guys.
No, Hollywood secrets.
There's another one that says we dated in 2017. Yes.
That was the year my daughter was born. So for you to inseminate me, I guess we would have had to do something the year before. Clearly not right.
Oh my gosh.
So I think this is our opportunity to set the record straight.
We've never dated.
We have never dated.
I've never even put my hand in his crotch. Never done like an Alan. I've never done an Alan on Nathan. Isn't that weird? What rumor is it that there's so many rumors about all of us. Alan, what's the one that you are most irate about?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I don't read a lot of stuff.
Oh, I'm looking you up.
Oh, no, don't. I don't want to know. I try not to know.
Just say rumors. Okay, I'm just going to see if there's anything. Oh, there's nothing. Not really.
I'm an open book.
Squeaky clean.
And it's a picture book, so there's really not much to the...
You're open to returning to Star Wars. These are the most boring rumors I've ever seen.
I love that it used to... Oh my God. I love you get these things on social media. They'll be like, this actor would like to play Batman. Okay. Who wouldn't want to play Batman? That's pretty great. I mean...
What's your source for this? Because it's not me.
Okay, so anyway, for the record, my child is not Nathan Fillion's, okay?
Yeah, you should say
So we're
that.
just going to set the AI record straight.
Right.
Sadly, she does have good hair, though. So I don't know,
She got
maybe
great
something
hair.
happened. She does have great hair. It's
Yeah,
better than mine.
Nathan, oh my God.
But I think you get your hair from your mother, though. You get your mother's hair.
You get your mother's hair. No, not my kid. I don't know where she got it, but I have thin hair, and she's got the thickest hair, and it has slight curl, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe, could be that I don't know who the father is.
Ask your husband. Wow.
Do you still participate in the D&D of it all?
You know, I do.
I have a question then. What is your preferred set of D&D dice? Because I know they're pretty fancy.
I have probably a couple hundred dice, and my daughter stole them all. She likes to play dice shop and have me play characters like, oh, I'm an old wizard, and I'm in a blue part because I like ice. And she'll get them out and be like, what about these? I'm like, no, they're not icy enough, So, so I do love, I have a composite pair that has a bunch of minerals in it. It's all different colors. And I do like the ones that sparkle with the really sharp corners that are like sort of like not 3D printed, but they're like cast in clear resin and they have like sparkles in the middle. And you could even have one where they have a hole in the middle and you have glitter. And so it's like a glitter gel in the middle and they are very sparkly.
The liquid core, those are my favorites. The ones that have the floating eyes so that when you roll it, the eyes are always looking up. That's my like.
Do you
That's my
collect
jam.
dice? Do you collect dice?
I don't collect dice, but I do love online shopping. And so when I find somebody who plays D&D, and this just happened to me on Thursday, one of my friends said, who's been a guest on our show, Melissa O'Neill, has started playing a little bit of D&D. And I said,
so
I'm going to
cool.
set you up with some dice. I'm going to get you a little roll tower where you drop in and they'd come out into the tray at the bottom. And yeah, I got her some fancy dice that she can play with.
I have a set that is hewn from the bones of my enemies.
Ooh.
That's my understanding of Dungeons & Dragons. That's about all. That doesn't seem probably what it's about. No?
Well, listen, if you ever want to play, I know some great DMs who will do all the work in LA.
From the talons
again-
of a dragon.
And I've seen these tables that you can use. It's like a touchscreen table computer
yeah.
of sorts where they'll put the land out there in front of you. And is that frowned on in D&D?
I think it's whatever you want. I have a company that I work with called Lorescape, and they have it's almost like a Minecraft. They have the hex tiles they put together, and you can lay them out. And my daughter and I, we play a lot, not really officially. She just lays out the tiles, and they're all different landscapes, like swamp and desert. And our little characters will go in, and she's like, Mama, let's search for treasure. And that's basically what we do. We go shopping. But she sets
Gotcha.
it up so they're like layers of these cool little hex tiles, and the landscape is really three-dimensional versus like just a flat map. I think it's whatever you like, man. There's so many different options.
From the tailbone of a griffin. Okay, I'm done. Thank you. Those are my dice.
I would love to play with you. What would you play? What would be your class, Nathan and Alan? Secondary thought.
And also Alan.
Just my preference would be to be anything but human. If I get the opportunity to play a character, I'm a human all the time. I would just make sure I don't want to be human. And anything I think that lends itself easily to comedy so that I can throw in some jokes in there.
So like a dwarf, a halfling, a gnome, or you could be like a tiefling, which is kind of like a demon-y thing, or an ogre, or, you want to be a big broody, kind of person, or
I don't know if I
squeaky.
could be friends with a halfling, but you never know.
Honey?
Oh, no. Why'd you have to ruin everything?
Yeah.
Oof.
I
Okay,
think-
Alan?
I mean,
Alan?
I kind of was liking the halfling thing.
Okay. Well, you don't need to be friends. You can role play.
Half what and half what is a halfling? Half human,
it's
half...
a hobbit. It's like it's the way that they get around the hobbit.
With the
not
hairy
be a hobbit.
feet? I don't want that.
No, that's
I don't
gross.
want the hairy feet. I don't know, like a thief. Like I want to be one of the hairless arrow shooters with pointy ears.
So an elf, like an elf thief, but also an archer. Okay.
And also hairless.
Oh, what is with the hair, man?
Well, I don't know. The hairy feet just really put me off.
What about other body parts? Do you wax everything? I just need to know.
If it grows, I'm trimming it. If it grows, you gotta trim it, folks. I see people with like nose hair coming out their nostrils. Hey, everyone in your life is doing you a disservice. You got to trim that.
Get the manual, get the electric, do something. Okay?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Do we do with Felicia before we're done things we don't know about you?
Oh no, you know everything.
You got something you're funding pretty soon. You're going to do another movie.
It's going to be a Guild reunion movie because it's our 20th anniversary next year.
Congratulations.
Wow.
I know. And I have the script, and we're going to hopefully do a music videos or more than one. We'll see how successful it is. So
Cool.
It is available for sign up on the Kickstarter, and I have a page that I can give you a link to so you can be notified first when it goes live at the end of June.
You're getting the whole gang back together? Is everybody in?
Everybody.
Tell me that. What is that phone call like? You call everybody and go, hey, guess what?
We have a text message. Isn't it fun to get parties back together, though? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and I'm
it
like,
is.
hey, you guys want to do this? And everyone's like, sure. And I'm like, great, that was easy. Because I love them, and they had a great time on the show, and I did too. And yeah, hopefully we can make a movie. It's a weird time in the world, but hopefully people will be like, oh yeah, I love that back in the day. Let's see more of it. And it's a fun script. I'm excited about it. And I have a lot of other things planned if we make enough money to make the movie. So I don't know, to do extra stuff.
20 years is a long time. I mean, that you run the risk of somebody saying, you know what, I've changed my life. I'm an accountant now. I've got my real estate license. I'm trying to leave that behind me.
I know. Well, if we don't make the Kickstarter, then I can always make it as a podcast or a comic or, But I have a feeling. I have a feeling in my heart. I have a feeling in my heart it's going to be
Well, you
fun.
have a level of engagement, too, that people who are interested in what you create are also interested in supporting that creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Crossing
donate.
fingers.
I'll donate. I'm saying it right now.
Thank you.
I will donate.
Aw, thank you, dear.
I'll donate. I'll
Alan,
donate.
I was
I'll-
looking at you significantly.
I will,
like,
I will,
what?
I will donate. I will
Great.
donate.
Just sign up.
I'll be in
I
the
put
thing.
the
I'll
Put your
be in
email
it.
in the thing.
In donate.
I'll
Okay,
be.
great.
I'll play a character.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
All right.
have to. I don't necessarily want to be me, but I'll play a character.
Now, listen, you'll do what I tell you to.
I'll
you
play
got it.
Alan. If you need Alan Tudyk and he's not going to play him, I'll play Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, Nathan's got it. It's going to be
Amazing.
the worst version of me ever.
Oh my God.
I can do a good Alan. Okay. Look.
Yeah, what is
okay,
that?
you guys.
Look at that.
I don't want to play another robot.
What? That's not true. Although
Ladies and gentlemen.
I can't fill out captures anymore. They're like, make sure you're not a robot, and I can't. They're like,
You don't
no.
even know how. You
They're
don't
like,
even
you
know how.
are
You're
a
like,
robot.
does not compute.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh, bikes. I don't see any bikes in there.
It's never the piece of furniture you thought it was. I was like, I thought that was a wardrobe. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Who do I email to be like, that's clearly a wardrobe, sir and or madam?
Felicia, is there anything you'd like to add that we missed that you think, hey, we didn't touch on this?
Wow, this has been a wonderful time. I could do this for 8 hours.
You sound surprised.
I have a book that's coming out, and if you want a graphic novel
Yes.
that's coming out, it's called The Last Daughter of Sparta. It's out March 17th. So
You wrote this?
I wrote it at the beginning of COVID. It took 6 years to get out there, but
How cool.
it's set in ancient Greece, and it's sort of a Hercules journey for this obscure mythological character I found at midnight one day trying to overcome my insomnia years ago while my daughter wouldn't sleep. So, yeah, I wrote it. I'm really proud of it. It's coming out in March. So if you think that might be up your alley,
Who is
pick it
your
up.
artist? Who did you get to?
A woman named Rowan McCall, and I found her because I was looking through a hashtag called Visible Women because I knew I wanted a woman illustrator for this book, and because it's very female empowering, but also universal. My friend Will Wheaton said that he cried when he read it. So she's incredible, and she's not, she's just perfect for this book. It was a very distinctive style I was looking for, and I just found her by going through the internet like 1,000 people, and I was like, that's her. That's her. So
How cool.
I hope people like it. Yeah, it's good. My daughter read it in like an hour and was like, Mama, you need a glossary. And I was like, well, I'll give the publisher a note later for maybe
And what is it called again?
The Lost Daughter of Sparta.
Lost
It's
Daughter of
about
Sparta.
The youngest sister of Helen of Troy, who's actually in mythology, but nobody has ever written about her. So I'm excited.
What's your daughter's reading list that she's throwing out words like glossary?
I mean, she loves reading. And when she was like 2 or 3 years old, I was reading her like Greek myths. She's named after a Greek goddess, Calliope.
Oh, wow. Right.
So I want her to be a liberal arts major and support her for the rest of her life.
I don't want your life, Mom.
Yeah.
And then she gets a real estate license.
Exactly. Or something that will actually support her. No, I don't know. I mean, you guys are so good. I just think you're awesome. And thank you for having me on.
You're awesome.
Stop it. Go
What
on.
a treat. What a treat. Listen, I mean, I know we don't hang out constantly. I'm still getting into the habit of hanging out with people after COVID.
I know. And you're so busy all the time. How do you, I just sleep. I don't see people. So
Yeah, me too.
half the time I'm
getting
sleeping.
better. I'm getting better.
Good for
And
you.
I got some time off coming up. Let's hang
All right,
out.
let me know.
Let's have a lovely time.
I would love that. And maybe Alan could come or not. Maybe not.
Alan also.
Plus Alan.
Also Alan, plus Alan.
Alan, you're a delight. And thank you for letting me insult you the whole hour. It's funny,
That's
but
my
I
job.
think you're wonderful.
Lovely. Mwah. Mwah.
Thank you, Felicia.
All right.
Grab.
Music, please.
Cue.
Hello, and thank you for listening. This is Nathan Fillion. Now is the part where I read aloud the credits for our show in my best telephone voice. So, put on some headphones, lay back, and relax, because this is our time. If you haven't yet, you can always head over to our Patreon to get bonus content, longer episodes, and a chance to get your hands on some incredible crap. If you loved the show, please leave us a review and feel free to tell all your friends. If you didn't love the show, now is the time for quiet contemplation. Once We Were Spacemen is a Collision 33 production. Some of the names I will mention are my favorite people in the world, and some of them have room for improvement. You know who you are. If you hear your name being read, please stand up. This show is produced by Siobhan Homan, Michelle Chapman, and Josh Levy of Collision 33. We are edited, mixed, and produced by Resonate Recordings, with special thanks to Courtney Blomquist and Adam Townsell. Our theme music is done by Carlos Sosa and Joshua Moore. Artwork by the incredible and incomparable Louis Jensen. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think he fakes his accent. Until next time.
Can you tell I've gone to therapy?